about which part of your fat middle-aged physique I can think of.
The tits, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, the belly.
Sure.
Well, what do you think of that? Oh, that's... What?
By the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. So, a few more shows. I hope Sony are happy. They should encourage, we've only been radio, a couple of years.
Exactly.
Trying.
You encourage young talent like you.
Yeah. Instead of giving it to Radio 1 and Radio 2 and...
The old war horses. We just had a quick email. I wonder if you can answer this. It's James from NW1. He says, Ricky, is Carl going to be on this week's show? Please let me know, as I may listen if he's not. Sadly, he is here. I mean, people are already turning against you, Carl, because they've seen what's happened.
Yeah.
I think they've probably realised that
I think we gave him too much. I think we've got a spoiled sort of kid in our hands. It's sort of like, we knew how bad he was, but we were trying to sort of bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to encourage sort of children like Carl.
Well, yeah, exactly.
To sort of fend for themselves. I like the fact that Dickie Anderson had that wonderful rant. It was an articulate email. It was quite long, and he must have typed it immediately. I'm thinking, because he's a fan of the show and he thinks I'm a genius, we need a PA.
Sure.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Do you reckon he'd come and work for us?
Well, he can't be any worse than what we've already got.
I don't know. So there you go then. We're giving up radio. We're going to concentrate on television. Carl's going to probably go back to what? Your little... Just doing his sound.
The thing I won a silver for at the Sony's. Funny that, isn't it?
Oh, you won a silver, did you?
I got a silver, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what was that
for doing the proper job that I do here in the week.
Well, no, there's two of you for a start.
Yeah. Well, there's three of us. Can't even get a bronze. Now, who's the weak link? Right?
Well...
Bit weird, isn't it?
Let's not argue. We haven't got many shows to do.
To be fair, though, this show is... I think it's more to do with the fact that you talk on this show that has brought us down.
Right, I haven't said anything hardly today.
No, well, this is an award-winning show, potentially.
We'll add this one into next year.
If you could just keep stum, we might have a chance.
All right.
Well, coming up, right?
Let's put it behind us.
Okay.
Let's draw a line up.
Stephen co-wrote and directed The Office and Extras with me. You may have seen him in Extras as the agent. You may have seen him briefly in The Office. He is a goggle-eyed freak.
You're referring to the character there, are you? Or...
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks.
No,
it's just a little...
I'm just trying to paint a picture for people at Christmas.
Sure.
Steve.
Yeah. I wouldn't say goggle-eyed. I think goggle-eyed freak's harsh. These are designer specs. And, yeah, admittedly, I'm a little bit tall, but...
6'7".
Yeah, but let's not have a go at that.
Carl, we're more like this later. I think we should play a record. We've done introductions.
Pop a little song on.
But do you remember the first time you saw Steve?
Well, let's pop a little song on that, all right? Chat about it in a bit.
All right.
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen. Now, it's difficult to describe Carl. I just think you'll have to get to know him over the next 2 hours. But we have taken the liberty of getting some stuff ready for you if you want to find out more about him. If you go to rickygervais.com, we've put up a special little page. Go into Who's Carl, and we've put a little biography up of him and loads of pictures. And you have never seen a head rounder than... He looks like Mr. Spoon from Button Moon.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Bod. Grown
He's
up.
almost
There's a little bit of Charlie Brown in there. He's even got a little striped shirt. It's perfectly rounded. It's balding and it's not a sort of like a good balding. It's sort of like he looks like a worn tennis ball. Do you know what I mean? He's got a little bit of growth.
It's not that sort of Teddy Savalas cool bald.
No, it's just a scruffy little... I don't know what it is.
Happy Christmas and that.
What do you think of that then, Carl? Your introduction to the nation?
Well, if we're going to start picking on looks and stuff, like you mentioned before, we can go over everyone in this room.
What?
Let's make it fair.
What?
Let's have a chat about Steve over there.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, you know how sort of I felt when I first saw you.
Wait, don't go mad, Steve. Let Carl speak. Right, this is his platform.
No, I'm just saying you just said about painting a picture.
Yeah, go on then.
I wouldn't paint a picture of that. No, I'm not, Steve, you know I'm not having a go, mate.
What do you mean you're not having a go? It sounds like you're having a go.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think when you first saw him, when he first walked into that room all those years ago?
Sort of thought he looked like a cartoon. No, Steve, you know that you look a little bit odd. This isn't like a shock to you. You've had this. How old are you now?
31.
Right, so you're 30. What do you look like as a baby? I mean,
why is this a character assassination?
No, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying what it was like. Now I'm used to you now. When I see you, I don't sort of double take anymore.
He's coming out with this.
No, but when you popped in and that, it was just a bit of a shock, and now I've got used to it and that.
Good, you're happy now. You can cope now.
Hold on. You were shocked when you saw Steve Merchant. You told me once you went to school with two fellas who had big heads and webbed hands and feet. Yeah. And they weren't related. Why were there two people like that at your school? And yet you find Steve freaky.
You never said freaky. You said freaky. You said freaky. Carl, it was you that worked out the maths and worked out I was 28. Because they just worked out I'm 27.
You are 27.
No way.
Yeah, I asked you, didn't I? And I said...
But what I sort of questioned was, I said, well, if you're 27 today, that means last week you were 26.
Well done, yeah. That's irrelevant. So therefore you assumed that I must be 28 then?
Yeah.
Whereas I assumed you were using, your knowledge of maths, such as it is.
I wouldn't do that.
No, sure.
Wow. I actually got lost in that conversation because I genuinely didn't know what he meant would mean last week you were 26. I don't know what that meant.
I don't know what it meant.
Wow. Well, it is Steve's birthday.
And it would have been 26 last week.
Sometimes you genuinely frighten me because it's those staring eyes. There's nothing behind him. It's this little bald head. Looks like Davros looking at me. Genuine fear on his face when he enters into a conversation with another human being.
What bit don't you understand? If he's 27 today, he would have been 26 last week, and he doesn't look 26. He didn't look 26 last week. He looks older than 28 today.
You've started on his birthday. You're still having a go at him.
Carl, I don't look like the kind of hot stud that I actually am. But face facts, that's the truth, mate.
Yeah, live with it.
Get with the program, jeez.
Carl, I don't want to. I'm not stirring it, right? You started a little bit of a war with Steve. You always have.
Stirring it.
Well, no.
This is stirring right now. This is the terminology.
But do you know the fellas in your school, the big heads and webbed feet and webbed hands? But they hung around together, did they?
I don't think they did.
And they were nothing to do with each other?
No. I think people expected them to sort of knock about together. But they must have thought, that'd be too obvious. You know what I mean?
But where did you live? Near a power plant? I mean, why did you have...
I don't think it had anything to do with that, though. Just sometimes you get a little... Look at Steve, he didn't live near a power plant.
No, listen, can I just stop you there, right? Let me just stop you there, because it always happens. As soon as we it's supposed to be a nice day, and suddenly you're having a go, right? Now, this got sent on the email, okay? Now, this is not me saying this. This is someone who's forwarded a review that was put on the web. It was a review of your appearance on one of Ricky's stand-up comedy DVDs, okay? I'm quoting this. This is not me saying it. It says that Carl, through a combination of his intriguing way of thinking and slightly less than human appearance, right, Carl may just be the proof needed to muffle the cries of creationists the world over, as this missing link demonstrates that not only did man evolve from apes, but the process isn't quite finished yet. Okay, now that's someone else, an external person's opinion of you.
But the terrible thing about that is, Carl's feelings aren't hurt because he didn't understand a word of that.
I said the word creationist, that lost it.
That's it. You've got to remember that Carl, you know when people say they're talking to their cat and they go, oh, look at him, look at this, it's like he can understand what we're saying. Well, Carl's got that look, but he can't understand what you're saying. All right, Carl?
No, but now we're talking about your head and that, right? When you go back to, say, your mum and dad, it's Christmas time, right? There's a lot of people travelling up and down the country, going back, seeing their mum and dad. They probably haven't seen them all year, right? When you go back, is it a shock to them again? No, do you know, like, how you get used to how someone... Like I say, I'm used to you. I see you a few times a week. I don't do the double take. But what I mean is, when you go back, do they sort of go, oh, there he is? You know what I mean?
Play record. It's like...
Let's leave it then.
Let's move on then, because I'm going to get angry. And we haven't even got... It's not even 25 past.
It's Christmas.
A little bit of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So, what have you been doing this week, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the week I was incredibly annoyed by Carl.
Why?
No, because I remember you had a little discussion with Carl a while back saying that you thought he was lazy at times.
Yeah.
And, you know, you had various criticisms of his work.
Yeah.
And I got a call from him. He said, oh, yeah, I should have told you, I had a phone call. Someone said that they were trying to get hold of Steve Merchant to offer him some lucrative voiceover work. Now, you know...
That is money for old
It's money for old rope.
That's about, you're in there for about 20 minutes and it's thousands of
If there
pounds.
are children listening who are still at school, they should definitely, when the careers guy says, what do you want to do? Try and get voiceover work. Just become a voiceover artist. It is money for old rope.
Yeah.
So I can't believe my luck, because, you know, I love money for old rope.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what's the information? He said, I don't know. I deleted the message. It was on his answer, and he deleted the message. I said, right, when did the message come? He said, last week. So he took a week to tell me that he had deleted the message.
Why, just because it wasn't for you?
I mean, I don't know how selfish that is, Carl.
No, what happened is, right, I got back off holiday. I was at home.
Yeah.
So I called up my voicemail, right, because I can do that.
Yeah.
Remote access, right, because I've got to know what's going on at work.
Of course.
Called in, it was still my day off, I was going through the messages.
Yes.
Heard one from some company saying, we're after Steve Merchant.
Yeah.
We want him to do some voiceover work.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember the name of it, but I thought, right, I'll remember to tell Steve.
A week later.
It doesn't matter, does it? You still got the message, and they
What message?
Yeah, but voiceovers have to be done in the next couple
I
of
didn't get the
days.
message. All I got was, there was a company, I don't remember the name, and they phoned you, they wanted voiceover work. How does that help me? There are hundreds of thousands of media companies. You didn't take down a number, you didn't take down a name, nothing.
I was more puzzled why they want you to voice anything.
He's having a go.
I don't know what.
I don't
listen to that
Well,
voice.
you must be annoyed. You must be annoyed.
I mean, talk about rubbing salt into the wound.
No, but listen to you.
What?
God.
I don't know I don't know how you think. I don't know how your mind works.
Well, I was thinking there must be a tractor sale on somewhere.
What do I care? No, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't care if they want me to advertise, you know, the latest designs in pirate fashion wear. I will do a voiceover because it's money for a rope. I don't care what you think of my voice. Someone was interested. They were offering me money. And you decided arbitrarily, they probably wouldn't want it. They probably made a mistake. They wouldn't like the way he talks anyway. I'll delete the message.
No, the thing is, right, I
What if
get
that had been a
paid.
girl?
I get paid to sit here on a Saturday, right? Play CDs and that, help out at the show, get you decent prizes. I think I do me bit,
Sure.
right? It isn't about running your voiceover work.
So hang on. So Carl, let me just get this right. If someone was ever to phone me, right, trying to get in touch with you to offer you work, you'd want me to just ignore the message. That is what you're saying to me. You'd prefer that I deleted the message, I ignored it altogether. That's what you'd want for me to do. That's what you want me to do.
What, someone's calling you for something?
Someone phoned me. They say, I can't. I don't know. I'm a friend of a friend. I've got your number, Steve. I would love to use Carl Pilkington for an
Well, you sent the
exciting
call,
sex
so has
scene.
it happened?
Well, no, I'm saying in the future, if it was to occur, do you want me to just ignore it? Is that what you prefer me to do?
Well, it's not like that, though. I did tell you. I told you the message.
You didn't. What? You told me a week later with none of the information I needed.
Carl, that doctor called last week. That kidney's ready for that little girl that you were doing that sponsored walk for. I forgot to tell you. Oh, I hope it's still all right. They keep it on ice, don't they? I think they do.
Selfish, Carl. So selfish. And you lost us.
Beautiful. Bit of Snoop on XFM. Yeah? Kicking it with Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Sweet. Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. What has happened to Carl? Because Carl, I thought, is this sort of sweet little buffoon, almost childlike in his ways. You know what I mean? Like Charlie Brown after some sort of head injury, and now he's coming back like that, having a go, not caring about voiceover work. It's like, because Heat have written about him a couple of weeks, it's like he thinks he's better than you in some way.
I do care, though. You're out of order saying that, right? Because I sorted you out with tickets for stuff.
He doesn't turn up to.
Carl, I received a phone call. You deleted the message offering me voiceover work. You're as bad as my agent. I'm appalled by it. And I thought we were friends.
At least his agent, when he does it, is losing himself money as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got no comeback. You're still sweet. And to have a go at you've got a mank whine, right?
Voice.
Like a cartoon Gallagher brother on Coronation Street. I mean, and yes, Steve does sound like a Wurzel, but that doesn't. Do you know what I mean? What about Jethro? Jethro does well. Jethro gets on Des O'Connor anytime he wants.
Just have to phone Des up.
And he's on there.
Straight on.
And he's whining like a Wurzel as well. So You know, to say that is a rubbish...
All right, apart from that then, what else have I done that's wound you up?
Well, that's a good starting point, because you haven't even apologised.
No, it's a shock, because that's the first time I've let you down. And I didn't really let you down because I passed on the message.
You didn't. Well, we've been through it. You didn't pass on the message. Saying I deleted a message for you is not passing on the message. I mean, I just think what's happened is that you've got a little bit of celebrity now from the show. I mean, I've seen you being recognised in pubs and stuff, or people have come up and they said, "Are you Carl?" because they've seen Ricky. Now, it just seems to me that you are not keeping yourself grounded. You cannot deal with fame. You've not got the intelligence to cope with the celebrity, and you're just becoming this kind of ego-driven monster.
Now it's getting.
It scares me, Carl. You're not the man I remember.
I put a lot of work into this on Saturday. This isn't even my proper job. Right? Where were you in the week?
Oh, we've got you there.
What?
Where were you in the week? I said let's meet up, let's, come up with some new features and that. Where were you?
Carl, you phoned me about an hour before you wanted to meet. That is not what I would call... I mean, that is arrogance right there.
That's the way I work.
That's arrogance right there. That's ego right there.
He couldn't go... when I came in, he said, "Where's Steve?" I said, "Steve can't make it." I had to tell him why. Steve was staying in to tidy up because his landlady was coming. This he couldn't get over. He could not get over that you couldn't make it because you had to stay with your landlady. He talked about it for